Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is Cajun Turkey and Sausage Chili. Well, it's finally starting to cool down here in Kansas, which is fantastic. It makes me start to crave things like chili, those warming foods, those comfort foods. And at the same time, I'm testing all these recipes for our holiday turkeys. And as I'm testing new turkey recipes, I'm also looking for new ways to utilize that leftover turkey meat, because we all know we always end up with some of that in the fridge. And that's where these two things come together. We're gonna do a Cajun-inspired chili that's got sausage and some leftover turkey in it. But the great thing is you don't have to use leftover turkey. You can do this any time of year with just a rotisserie chicken or a smoked chicken. Combined with all those wonderful Cajun flavors, you're gonna get a great result every time. So let's jump right in and fire up the grill. So today we're cooking on the Napoleon Phantom 500 gas grill, but we're gonna be using the charcoal insert here so we can get a really nice high heat char on our sausage and our jalapenos before they go into the chili. And then instead of cooking our chili on the side burner, we're gonna cook it right here in the main cooking area so that we can put a little bit of smoking wood in here and actually smoke our chili as it cooks. Now, as far as getting this thing lit up, we'll just hit these two burners on high, probably for the next 10 minutes or so until our Jealous Double charcoal is taking hold. Then we can completely turn off the gas and just rely on the charcoal heat. We've given the charcoal a good 15 minutes to get rip-roaring hot. You can barely hold your hand over it for very long. What I've got here is some raw andouille sausage and then a smoked Cajun sausage. And this one's raw, this one's already been cooked. I don't really care about any of that right now. All I'm trying to do is get some char on the outside. In fact, I expect this to still be raw in the middle when we go to dice it up afterwards, but I want to get some good color on it, and then we can finish cooking it in the chili. It does not take long at these temperatures. If we're looking at the temperature gauge, we're up around 600, 650 degrees right now. Now remember, you don't have to worry about cross-contamination going on right now, because all of this stuff is going to go into the chili to finish getting cooked. All right, sausages have plenty of color on them now. A good amount of char. I'm gonna take these over here to this indirect side. I'll let those hang out in just a minute while we finish up these jalapenos. We're looking to get these kind of blistered on all sides so that we can actually peel the skin off and just utilize that tender, smoky flesh of the jalapeno. The skin of the jalapenos, fully blistered and blackened now. You can throw these into a zip top bag, just any container. We're just gonna use a little deli to go here. Any container to trap that heat in there, to steam the peppers to start to release that skin from the flesh. Sausages we're gonna take back to the cutting board and dice up, and then we'll get ready to start building our chili right here on the grill. So the sausages, I'm just gonna quarter these and dice them and get slightly different texture and flavor out of each of these sausages. Obviously, this being kind of a pre-smoked Cajun style sausage, a little bit generic in that sense, but not terribly spicy, but it's got some great aroma coming off of it. Definitely catching some of those Cajun herbs, spices in there. So that guy right there is, I think, about 7 to 8 ounces. These andouilles that we've got, they're about 4 ounces each, so 12 ounces of andouille, the fresh stuff. And again, don't be scared when you see this is raw in the middle, because that's gonna finish cooking in the chili. I actually like that it doesn't get all the way cooked with that initial char on the grill, because you can get some of that crumbly sausage that kind of works its way into the chili. So now for the jalapenos, we're just gonna take the ends off and slice these in half. We're gonna clear out those seeds and pith, and then we'll be able to peel. Oh, let's see, that just slides right off, already coming off. We'll be able to peel that skin, that burnt skin off of there. And then what you're left with is, again, just that smoky, tender flesh of the jalapeno, which we'll dice up, and it's gonna melt right into that chili. Back at the Napoleon now, we've got our Lodge Dutch oven sitting right over that hot charcoal. It's been there for just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you can already see it smoking. So this is gonna be cooking plenty hot. The first thing we're gonna do is put down a little bit of oil. We're using the Chili Crunch oil. So chili, onion, garlic infused oil, all great flavors when you're dealing with Cajun. And then the first thing to go down is our sausage. We get just a little bit of color on that. We'll start to render out a little bit of that fat before we add in our Holy Trinity mirepoix. Getting a little browning on the sausage. That stuff that was raw is now cooked all the way through. Get some more fat gathering in the bottom. Let's go ahead and add our Holy Trinity. We're doing 2 cups of red onion today. Get a cup of green bell pepper and a cup of celery. We need to get some seasoning and some salt on here to help draw out the moisture and start infusing all those flavors. We're using our Cattleman's Grill Cajun Fusion today. 1/4 cup of that. Now this has got everything you need out of a great Cajun seasoning. Your white, black, red pepper, some thyme, oregano, a few other herbs, salt of course, and some paprika. So let's close this up and let these veggies soften. You can see how our mirepoix is softened up now. There's very little liquid in the bottom, so what is cooked out is already evaporated. So at this point, we want to add in a couple tablespoons of minced garlic, a couple tablespoons of chipotle and adobo sauce that I've just minced up, and then we'll also add 1 can of whole San Marzano tomatoes. So we need to give the garlic a little time to cook some of that rawness out real quick. Not much, because this is gonna braise for the next 30 to 45 minutes. And those tomatoes we're gonna break down with a hand masher. These are some of my favorite tomatoes to use anytime we're doing anything stewed, or for that matter, pizza sauce, pasta sauce. High quality San Marzanos. The best flavor out of a canned tomato, in my opinion. That's kind of our chili base right there. You know, we've got the paprika out of that rub, we've got our bell pepper, we've got our jalapeno, plenty of chilies involved in the situation here. Now I want to add in my leftover turkey. So this is our kind of traditional Thanksgiving turkey. So it's got some of those flavors on it, but once you get it surrounded in all of these Cajun flavors, it just soaks those up as well. And that stuff's just gonna shred apart as it braises in here. I mentioned our fire roasted jalapenos. There they go. And then our beans. So we're gonna do 1 can each of pinto, kidney, and black beans that have been rinsed. Now we just need a little bit of chicken stock so we can braise all of this goodness down, thicken up to our chili consistency. I'm gonna do 1 quart. I'm just using a store-bought chicken stock today. I like to keep a little extra on hand. You can always water this down with water later if you want, but to have a little extra chicken stock on hand, just to thin it out at the end if you need to, is a good idea. But here we're gonna do something kind of fun. Let's move this off to the side. I want to get a chunk of smoking wood on top of this charcoal so we can incorporate a little bit of smoke into our cook. Do 1 big block of cherry wood there. Can already see that cherry starting to put off a little bit of smoke. We're gonna add just a little bit of heat to the grill. I'm gonna pop these burners on the opposite side for a little indirect heat. So we're getting direct heat from the bottom with a little smoke, a little indirect heat coming over the top. Bring this up to a simmer and let it simmer away for 30 to 45 minutes until we like the consistency. Chili's been simmering away gently for about 45 minutes now. You can see how that turkey's just shredding apart, soaking up all the juices. What I'm really looking for here is the consistency. I want that like velvety texture that you get in the broth where that tomatoes worked its way right in with the chicken stock. And instead of all becoming separate ingredients, this is now one cohesive chili. This looks like it's right where we want it, so let's pull it off. we're ready to dish this up and finish it off. It smells incredible. I'm catching that turkey aroma, but all the Cajun spices surrounding it. At this point, we just gotta finish it off with whatever you like on top. So I'm gonna hit this with a little sharp cheddar cheese on top. It's gonna have a little bit of heat to it depending on how many jalapenos you use. If you don't want the heat, my recommendation is leave the jalapenos and the chipotles and adobo out. Either way, you might want a little bit of sour cream just to cool things down. I'll do some green onions on top of that. And then get in there with some crunch. We've got some pork rinds, some chicharron, and some Fritos. Let's dig in. Oh yeah. Cajun hits home first. All those herbs in there. And that makes a chili different. We really kind of took two wonderful things like a gumbo here, minus the roux, turned it to the chili direction, and with the beans and the tomato and the chilies in there, it lives really nicely as a chili, but with all those gumbo flavors between the Holy Trinity, the andouille, all of that goodness. And again, we cook this turkey specifically for the holidays with holiday spices, but they're blending right into this chili really nicely. Great little way to use up some of that leftover turkey. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoyed the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.